There's nowhere else in the country. Think about it. 5G and the importance of innovation in America, but the importance of innovation around the world. We know with innovation there's competition. And we've watched the competition around the world, especially with China, stealing our technology rights. The desire and need as we move forward to have American-made product in America. We've watched the competition. Investment to John, the GMA, is critical. So I'm here for a number of reasons, but I'm here because of what Syracuse is able to do. Brandon just did his background. And anyone who spends a few moments with him knows the intellectual capacity that he has. The way he thinks, and the engineering and background. This is the innovation. There's a reason why I think he represents Syracuse as well. The things that are happening here. But from a person who happens to be the Speaker of the House, what happens in Syracuse isn't just about Syracuse, it's about leading the nation. And that's why when I came here, we wanted to come here first. We want to make sure this continues to build out and grow. Because as GMA grows, America grows stronger, the world grows safer, and security is more important. One of the first things I created in becoming Speaker was a select committee on China. Because my concern is the dependency that America has on China products. And we found what they have done when they're able to harbor a dependency or be able to collect monopolies. And that is not safe. They utilize it for government purposes. So we need to be able to have that freedom, and more importantly, the innovation to grow. And that's what's happening here today, and we're trying for investing in the future. We're talking about the NDA and others. Who do we want to lead? China or America? Who do you feel safest with your products? All American-made products? Or let Huawei? Who's going to build us to the next future for the next generation? That with this innovation, especially with AI and others, to be able to enhance it, to grow the education system and others. I think right here we're going to be able to do that. So I'm excited about being a part of it. I'm excited about being back here today. I'm excited about what the future holds, and especially from a federal end, what we're able to do. You know, I'm not just the only people touring here. A lot of government agencies from the military and others, they are very impressed with what's happening right here, and they find that their future is stronger and safer with working right here in this company. So with that, let me take some questions, comments.
I have a question. You voted against the Infrastructure Act, which JMA says will benefit them. You voted against the CHIP Act. We got a $100 billion investment from Micron coming. Can you explain those votes essentially are going to benefit from those votes?
Well, that's a very easy explanation as you go through. I thought there was a different way to fund it. Very supportive of investing in technology into the future. We look right here as JMA using most of their own private investments. What you really want to do is set a structure that I don't want government controlling and picking the winners and losers. I actually like the private sector, exactly what JMA is doing. And they're enhancing it by governments putting some grants and others. That's a capability, but it's their investment, their first $50 million that they decided themselves that created something that now government can be a part of. Yes?
With
yes.
This Congressman Williams here in this district, how important is this? How important is his presence to retain the House majority for the Republicans next year?
Well, I don't look at it maintaining the House Republicans. I look at what's best for America. I mean, think about what's happening in Syracuse. You see the change. You walk around this facility. This facility is no other place in the world. You want a member that understands technology. Look at his background, even in the private sector, what he was doing in technology and his business before he became a member of Congress, his background in Navy and subs and others. I will tell you, in Congress, we turned to him to ask a lot of the very difficult questions because with his own private sector background, he's further advanced and knows what's happening. So he's able to lay out when it comes to policy. When we're going through the NDAA, how to set up the structure that America is in a stronger place, especially with this technology going. That's a lot to him. So it's not about someone having a majority, it's about what type of future will your children have. Not only do you want safe streets, this person's going to look to it. Not only do you want to have the best education system going forward, especially with the Parents' Bill of Rights. That's what Brandon's going to look to. But the technology to build on the next to be able to compete with China. A lot of people would say, oh, then let's go live in Silicon Valley. He's bringing the Silicon Valley here to this district. And I think that ability, but also his ability to work across the lines, work across the aisle that he does, working with Democrats and Republicans on what's the best for the district. That's the character of what you want to look to. And service-oriented. He's already proven it from what he was able to do in the Navy and in the submarines. He's willing to risk his own life for people he hasn't met. Now he's willing to give up very successful business to serve again. I look for people that have a servant heart, looking for what's best for America, not what's best for a political party, but for the community itself. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, do you think Congress should be doing more to help New York with the influx of asylum seekers that we've seen over the last couple of years?
Well, I think some of our biggest challenges is the border itself. You know, just in this month of February, we caught more people on the terrorist watch list than we did for the entire 4 years prior. And we all know what a few individuals that have a different mindset can do to our country. And think about it. It's not easy to get on the terrorist watch list. We're not coming from a few countries in Central America. We have now found the challenges of what's happening around it. You look from New York City itself. New York City is a long way from the border, but now they're challenged by having an open border. And then what I really look to every community is the fentanyl. You know, today, 300 Americans will be poisoned and die from the fentanyl that's coming across that border. That's the equivalent of a full airliner crashing. But that airliner will crash today, tomorrow, and the next day. If an airliner crashed, we'd all wake up and say, what are we doing for our safety? So we've got to have a secure border. We've got to have an immigration system that actually works. In America, we're all pretty much immigrants. We know the history of the story. We know why people seek. We know from, even in this job itself, seeking individuals we get to work in. But when you just have an open border, you have fentanyl, and you have people on the terrorist watch list, that is not secure, that is not safe, and that can't maintain. And all that was created not by one vote in Congress, just a change in an administration. And that's become a real challenge. Or even now you have people on one side of the aisle saying it's not secure, it's not sustainable, and it's not making America safe.
Mr. Speaker, what does your presence here today and at this afternoon's fundraiser say about how the GOP views NY22 this early on in the election cycle? Is it seen as a district that might be threatened to be flipped?
I don't think it's threatened when you look at the job that Brandon is doing. I mean, it's amazing already his capabilities. The positions that he's in on the committees itself. Science, which we care greatly about what's happening here and the investments in the future of this knowledge there. From transportation, from education. Those are issues that people care most about when you're looking at here and the job that he's doing there. I think if you look at this first Congress, you just take the first 8 months. This is a data guy, so just study data. Compare us to the last Congress. The last Congress, the Democrats were the majority with Nancy Pelosi. They controlled the Senate and the presidency. We've produced more bills out of this House than they did. We've actually had more become law, even though the Senate and the presidency is a different party. We passed the Parents' Bill of Rights. We were able to pass a bill to help make America energy independent. We focused not on 87,000 IRS agents that we were able to repeal out of the House. We focus on the investments that you want to make in America itself. Numerous bills, one after the other. And I think people are looking for that policy and that direction. A select committee on China, knowing really where did COVID come from, holding government accountable. I think when we look to what the last Congress had done about spending that extra $6 trillion and creating inflation, how we were able to push inflation back, get control of our spending. Actually, when you look at what we were able to do just in the debt ceiling itself about work requirements, it's helping people out of poverty to get a job. These are, I think, very big success stories that I think people will learn. Is it important to get the message out? Yeah, I'm here because of the job he's doing. I have a lot of places I could be, but I think this is very important. And look at it. He invited me to come here, but where did he send me first? To JMA. To see the innovation that is happening for the future of this country. He's looking at policy for his district and how best to represent himself. I'm very proud of the job he's doing.
Would you be able to comment on the House Freedom Caucus's request when there's a potential looming government shutdown later this fall?
I don't think anybody wants a government shutdown. One of the frustrations I had going into the majority is every year Congress is supposed to pass 12 appropriation bills. For the last number of years, that wasn't what was happening. They weren't even passing committees in the Senate. So what they were doing is just writing these omnibus bills with a couple senators in the back. No one got to read it. It came to the floor. They pushed it right before Christmas, and everybody was forced to vote for it. One of my commitments was never to allow an omnibus happen again. So inside the debt ceiling bill, we put one provision that if you didn't do your job with all 12 bills, there was a 1% cut across the board. Everybody got upset, but you know what happened? The structure changed. For the first time since Schumer has been leader, the Senate has now passed all 12 bills at least out of committee. We have passed out of our committee, but now we've passed them on the floor. We only have a number of days in September. What I think would be best, keep doing our work passing the bills off the floor. Then what you have to do with the Senate and the House on any bill, you have to go to conference. I don't see the timeline to make sure to get all that done in an amount of time. So I would be open to do a small extension, only if that work is happening, where we can work through our conference. Because the spending is out of control. Policies, we've got to have the right policies that we're framing. I'm looking at a number of things out there that need to be changed, and that is actually working from border security, from American energy independence, from parents having say, from our safety and security, to making sure our military has the need, the desire, the needs that, to protect us. Well, I'm willing, if it's working together, to extend it for that short term so you don't have a government shutdown, and then you get a stronger position moving forward. Look, we've got disasters going on in this country. We saw the devastation that has happened in Maui, the need to go there, but I'm very concerned about the response. We still have hundreds of individuals that are missing. I think there's going to have to be a congressional investigation in response to what happened now. How could we lose that many Americans in today's age? And the federal response seems very delayed. The president's response of no comment, that's unacceptable. So I'm going to work with committees too to look at investigating what went on so that never happens again as well.
Mr. Speaker, there will be a notable absence from the first, or one of the first Republican presidential debates. Is there any regret from the party for not moving faster away from Donald Trump after what happened on January 6th with the repeated lies that he's told about the 2020 election? And what are you looking for in this debate under the assumption that perhaps the presumptive nominee can't end up appearing on the ballot?
I guess you have your own predetermined position by your question.
No, sir.
Well, it sure sounded like it from your question. Let me just give you the truth back. In America today, we have the First Amendment. What's amazing to me is, based upon your question, you used to have a U.S. Senator from New York that lost a race for president, who declared it was stolen, who took America through what I say a very devastating time, claiming of a Russia collusion that was all made up. That we spent 4 years going through impeachment when America could be focusing on something else, of a made-up lie that finally came back and was proven it was a lie. So why should we have a right to it? Why would you go after a political opponent just because you disagree with him? Are you afraid of him? Is it because he's ahead in the polls, you indict him? But you never indicted Hillary when she still to this day claims the election was stolen when it proven it was not. Or go down to Georgia that just indicted President Trump. Well, you had a governor's race there that an individual in the Democratic Party claimed was stolen. But nothing happened to that individual. They have a right to investigate. What I have a problem with is using political organizations, but using your government to go after them. DOJ justice in America. One for the Biden family and one for the rest of us. I don't know too many people that have ever gone up to the IRS without declaring the money that you have actually publicly been given and let the statute of limitations run out. I don't know of other families in government themselves that can create 20 shell companies as your vice president. And 9 of your family members get paid from foreign entities, but you never register that you're representing the foreign entities. So it seems to me that, based upon your question, I will go back and do a little research. Because I think tonight we're going to see something much different than what we're seeing coming out of the White House itself. Look, it's a great opportunity to be here. This is the place of the future. It's happening right here in this community. We've got a congressman that is the background to help it grow, and that's why we're here. How do we continue to keep America in the forefront of innovation that helps every entity to do? You think about what's happening here, it won't even just the benefit to protect our military for others not smart, but when it comes to healthcare, the speed of technology, the security of our data. And it's all right here and going to continue to grow. So thank you for being a part of that. I appreciate it.
Mr. Speaker, just
Thank you,
lastly,
sir.
do we
Thank you.
have